Hi artists, I wanted to show you our backdrop for taking photographs. Now, if you're hybrid and you're here in school, you have access to this, and this is what professional artists will use when they're photographing their work. It really helps just highlight the work itself. This black to white backdrop helps add depth to the background without adding details, and it helps make the actual work pop off the page rather than just like a flat white or black background. The gray helps also balance out some of the colors, whereas if you had white, sometimes it'll wash out the colors or make subtle differences invisible. Black sometimes can hide some of the details and kind of flatten out your project too. So when you're taking a photograph, if you're using your Chromebook or your phone, it doesn't matter, but I don't want a picture looking like this. What is the majority of the picture on for this? It's the background. It's part of my room in the picture. So when you are taking a photograph of your work, you really want to get nice and close. And I know that sometimes using a Chromebook is kind of awkward and weird, but this is more of the preferred view that I would want. Even if you can tilt it this way and get as close as possible to really get, sorry for the movement. I'm using a Chromebook and it's awkward. There we go. So you want to get as much as the project as possible. There. Okay. Now in my room, the lights tend to be pretty good, so you can see the project fairly well. Some kids will turn off the light and then use like their flashlight to see it. I see too many shadows normally, and that doesn't really help. You want it pretty well lit. So then you can just take your photograph, tap your screen, tap your save bar or your space bar. And then I would say take a few different ones, like take it from what's called a 3/4 view. So you can see a little bit of the side and a little bit of the front or back. It helps give a better description of your project three-dimensionally. You could take one where you see just mostly the side. You could also take one looking top down, especially if you can see inside and there's some really important detail on the interior. Okay, so making sure that you take nice close pictures. And I'm going to include some pictures of like what not to do when you're taking your photos. So here's some examples. Don't do this. Or this. With it backlit, you really can't see any of the details or the coloration. You laugh? I've had more than one student do this before. Okay, so let's be real for a minute. Some of you are going to be at home. And what do you do when you don't have that backdrop that Latif was saying? So what I have here is a notebook with some white paper. Just plain like white paper. It doesn't even have, it could be computer paper. You might want to have a couple sheets just so it doesn't, like it's not see-through. And I just have it on a notebook, so I'm just folding it open. And if your project is small enough and it fits on there, you can. This one is a little wide, so what I've kind of like to do is kind of make at least a 3-sided box, like so. And then I could put my project in here and photograph from here. And of course, you'd get a little closer just to take the photograph. You don't want this in here and you don't want the background over here. But you kind of get the idea is that you just want a nice neutral background so your project can look the best it can. And if you don't have white paper laying around, if you have a neutral colored sheet, towel, pillowcase, blanket, or even if you're like, your room in your house is just kind of nice and neutral and not really super cluttered. that could just be a good place to take a picture. So I could just, do this, and that's not too bad. Realize that we are working with the best that we have. So, if this is the best quality picture you can take, great. All I just want to know is what does your final product look like, and how proud are you of it? Take lots of pictures so that I can see, especially if I can't actually see the project in person. All right. I hope this helps. Have some good ideas to take good quality photos, and good luck.